Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with my beautiful wife, Karina from Venezuela. And Karina got her green card and she had her scary visa interview with the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia, way back in November 16th, 2023. And she got her green card on June 25th, 2024. And here we are in beautiful Florida in the Panhandle, very close to Alabama and actually Georgia. And Karina experienced her first summer in Florida, primero verano in Florida. She said May and June, or June and July, she said it was horrid, hot, very hot. I said, great. Welcome to Florida, because we lived in Bogota, Colombia for 2.5 years, pretty much, where it was 65 degrees all year round, cold, rainy, pretty much. It's like, I don't know. But this is your K1 visa channel, your green card channel. This is the place to be if you want to know how to get a green card, get a K1 visa for free, no cost. I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't give you any legal advice, zero legal advice. Okay, I don't work for the State Department, but I've got 9 years experience helping people come to the United States on their K1 visas and their green cards. I've been reuniting families for a long time. And it was all Karina's idea. She came up with this idea for this YouTube channel. Okay, we do the live stream at 6 p.m. Central Time, Wednesdays and Saturdays, 2 nights a week. That's 8 times a month. And in those 8 times a month, you can learn how to do a green card application and a K1 visa very easily. The Mountain Nomads is first off with the post. Hey Diego and Karina, I hope everything is going good for you. We are good, Mountain Nomads. We are doing great. It's great, and I tell you, it was good news to hear that Maduro had his jet confiscated in the Dominican Republic. So to all our beautiful friends, I've helped a lot of people in the Dominican Republic get their K1 visa interviews. I mean, a lot of people. Okay. And now the United States government has the communist dictator of Venezuela's Air Force One private jet in Fort Lauderdale. Homeland Security went and got it. That's good, right? That's a step ahead. That's one step forward for our friends in Venezuela. Because one day, hopefully in the future, they will have a U.S. embassy open in Caracas again. Maduro will be in prison somewhere, making big rocks into small rocks, and the citizens of Venezuela will be free. But we got his jet. Now, me personally, I would not have taken his jet. I would have filled it with bugs. I would have got his jet and filled it with listening devices all over, from the pilot all the way everywhere, and then waited for him to get it. And then I would have listened on his conversations. How about that? Francois Livingston, good evening, Diego and Karina. Francois, how are you? How's upstate New York? It's September, Francois. September 18th is a big day for you, right? For your Hamid in the United Arab Emirates. It's a big day. It's a September 4th. Soon it's going to be September 18th. The Mountain Nomads. So Diego, our case is still in transit, okay, since we got a welcome letter the 13th of August. K1 visa interview in Morocco. Hopefully it will hit the ready status soon. Yeah. Well, DHL shipped your K1 visa package from New Hampshire to the U.S. Embassy, the U.S. Consulate in Casablanca. Okay, it's a long journey. Sometimes the DHL flights are scheduled. They're chartered by USCIS. They bounce around a few countries before they make it to Morocco. But be assured, things are moving in the right direction for you, and we're glad to hear that. Francois Hamid just had his physical today, and he goes back on September 11th to pick up the report. Well, that's Francois. That's a Mountain Dew salute. Hamid had his physical. Huh? Salute to Hamid and Francois. Because that's out of the way. The exam's out of the way. It's done. It's over. Now it's just working on the next step. Hutchinson Lifestyle. Hey, there you go, Karina. What's going on, Hutchinson Lifestyle? Hutchinson's lifestyle, excuse me, as plural, not singular. So how is the Hutchinson's lifestyle family? In fact, how is everybody's family doing? I hope you're doing well. Karina and I hope you're doing well. We want you to relax and get through this process, okay? You can do it. You can do this. Paulino Gomez. Hey, Diego and Karina, I got married today in Missouri. M.O. Missouri. Paulino, congratulations. Now, you get a Mountain Dew salute for getting married. Now you got to start putting your green card application together, okay? Take your time. Give yourself 50 or 60 days to get your green card package put together so it's perfect. Repeat the medical exam. Get a new 693 signed by a civil surgeon in Missouri. Fill out the 864. Have your sponsor fill out the 864 correctly. No mistakes. Fill out the your adjustment of status paperwork. Get your I-94 printed off the computer from the Border Patrol website. Get a copy of your marriage certificate. Okay, a certified copy, not a copy that you print at Office Depot. I don't know. They have Office Depot in Missouri. They must have. It's a big state with very few people. I mean, you can drive for miles in Missouri and not see anybody, right? And there's no speed limit on some of those interstates. You go as fast as you want. But good job. Make sure, Paulino, you put a good green card package together so you don't have to go in front of another freaking visa interview. Wandering Terrier. Greetings from the United Kingdom. Let me see here. Thank you all for your help. And you give everyone. No problem, Wandering Terrier. Now, while you're in England, in the United Kingdom, go eat some fish and chips for me, okay? Because I was on vacation in London in July of 1996. I went to England for a month for vacation. It rained every freaking day. Every day I was there, it rained. But you know what? It's okay. I had an umbrella. I had my Wellington boots on. I'm just kidding. I didn't wear Wellington boots. But I eat fish and chips every day. I got hooked on Jaffa cakes. I love Jaffa cakes. And Karina, I bought some Devon cream, whatever it is. And Karina likes that with apple pie. So I got Karina hooked on English food now. And she's got me on Colombian and Venezuelan food. So we're all doing an international food fest here at the house. Francois, it wasn't $1,000 like someone said. I thought it was like $1,000. Someone said that on the channel. It was about 190 US dollars. Well, there you go. It helps to have the vaccines already done. Exactly right. Especially the COVID vaccines because the civil surgeon asked for it. Well, you know he was going to ask for the vaccinations. I just said you don't have to have all of the vaccinations, but COVID's important. Good job to Francois. It's Francois. And says, guess what? Francois says, guess what? Now, I am not a mind reader, so we're guessing. Paulino Gomez, thank you. You're welcome. Hutchinson's Lifestyle. We are doing good. Diego, can you believe since my case was submitted April 1st for my green card and work permit, I have not received any of them yet. My case is at the benefit center. Right now, immigration they got over 60,000 applicants. They're working 60 to 70,000 somewhere in there. Be patient. You're going to get your turn. Your turn is coming. All right. You'll get your green card and your work permit. Uno Mikey, my wife in Bogota, setting up the appointment. That's a Mountain Dew salute for our friends in Colombia. Now, Uno Mikey, your fiance is from Medellin, right? Mountain Dew salute. The city of eternal spring. Now, Karina's been to Medellin. I never went. I was in Colombia with Karina for 2.5 years. We went everywhere but Medellin, and we didn't go to Cali. I wanted to go to Cali, but I looked at things to do there, and there's nothing to do there. It's aburrido. There's nothing to do in Cali. So we looked at Medellin, and Karina said, well, I've been to Medellin. I said, okay, well, there's no reason to go back a second time if you've already been there. So I didn't go. It's all good. But we went to Cartagena. We went to Cúcuta. We went to Villa de Leyva. We went to Chauchi. We went all over freaking Colombia. Let's see here. So, Uno Mikey, your wife's in Bogota setting up the medical appointment. You need the list of travelers, the list of applicants. Okay, make sure she has it. Estelle Lemagum. Hi, Diego. I'm still waiting for my welcome letter from almost 60 days. It takes 60 to 90 days to get the welcome letter, okay? So you're right there at the cusp. Not much longer, okay? And Estelle, you're right there. You're at the touch time. You're at the finish line for the MVC, all right? You're almost there. Wandering Terrier, I won't be here much longer as I fly very soon, but I will eat some fish and chips before I move. There you go. We want you in America. Come on to the United States. We want you here in America and become American, right? You're going to become Americanized. You're going to learn all about the United States and our Constitution, and you're going to learn all about the history of our country, and, but you're going to learn in the history of our country, it was the Americans that kicked the British out of the United States. Remember that. Don't get offended now. All right? Don't get offended. Francois Livingston. Hamid went after his physical today and brought a super hot suit. Seriously. 2 weeks ago, he thought it was too hot for a suit, but today, I guess the weather's changed, right? Or his mind changed. Well, that's good. Benay Mohammed, what's going on, Benay Mohammed? Hello, Diego and Karina. I got my K1 visa and I'm finally in the United States. Look at you, Benay. What is the next step for me, please? The Mirage certificate? What the heck is a Mirage certificate? A Mirage is something you see in the desert, right? You're in the desert, you're in Algeria, and you have a Mirage. And you see strange things around the waterhole with palm trees. What's the Mirage certificate? The marriage certificate. That's what you meant to say, right? The marriage certificate. Here's what you do. You got married. You can get your Social Security number at the Social Security office. The Social Security Administration, run down there with your I-94, your marriage certificate, your passport, K1 visa, and apply for your Social Security card. Then when it comes in, you can get on bank accounts with your sponsor. Once you get on joint bank accounts, you can put that information into the green card application because immigration want to see commingling of funds. Immigration want to see that the sponsor and the beneficiary are on joint bank accounts together. Very important, okay? If you need help on how to get a Social Security number, I've made videos on how to do it, okay? Francois Livingston. Oh, and I got approved for time off of work for 2 weeks, starting September 24th. Francois, everything's coming together. Everything's coming together for you. It's brilliant. It's great. That's what they say in England, right? Brilliant. Good job, Francois. Uno Mike, I haven't got the travel letter, and who's supposed to send me this? It's in an email, but my wife got the medical appointment date already. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. And tomorrow she'll get the biometrics appointment. Okay, so you're good. Don't worry about it then. But Karina had to have the list. She had to have the list of applicants for her medical exam in Bogota. David B. Hi, Diego. I hope you and Karina are doing well. I'm still waiting to hear back. I reached out about my I-94 form. I still haven't received it, and it's the last thing I need to send in my adjustment of status. Is the only option to send an email inquiry. Call the Border Patrol. Call them up. Look, here. Look, you got to call them, man. Let me see what I got here. You got to get your I-94. Okay? Call this number right here. I want to write it down. If I can see, I can't even see. I don't have my glasses. Karina's my eyes, guys, because I can't see squat. Because I don't know. I just don't get older, I guess. Okay. That's the phone number to the Border Patrol. Okay? This is for information on U.S. Border Patrol checkpoints. We don't need a checkpoint, but they will direct you to the right person. There's another question. How do I contact the Border Patrol? The Information Center. This is the Information Center phone number. Okay. CBP. CBP, whatever that is on your phone, --5511. I don't know if it's the same number, But call that number. There's another one. Border Patrol number for I-94. Guys, right here. You go to their website. You've done that already, right? Or you can call 877 CBP 5511. Call that freaking number and ask them for the I-94. Okay? You may bring let me see here. And they ask, what is the I-94? It's international travelers for visiting the United States. Okay? Call up the Border Patrol and ask them. Now, guess what? So Miguel's on. I don't want to miss anybody. Wait a second here. Let me see. Karina, keep me in line here. So David, hi Diego. I hope you're Karina doing well. You gotta call the Border Patrol. Call them up on that number. Say, look, I need my I-94. Got to get it. And they will ask you they'll give you a number to call, or they'll ask for your wife's passport number so they can look it up and her name. Then they can send it to you. Dwayne Bickelman, August 27th, the case was sent in transit, and the 28th was in transit, so it's on an airplane. Our time in 29th Philippine Day, it was case ready. DS-160 was done previously, and so was the medical, just waiting on October 1st for the interview. There you go. October 1st will be here, like Francois Livingston. Well, she will be already in the United States with her Hamid when you get your visa interview in Manila. Mountain Dew salute. So how's everything in the Philippines? How's the weather? I know it's always hot in the Philippines. I've never been. Let me see here. So Miguel, good news. Diego and Karina, we got receipt notices for our green card and work permit. Miguel, muy bien. Paciencia es muy importante. See? Me alegra. Mountain Dew salute. I spilled Mountain Dew on my shirt. I knew you was going to get it. You just had to hang in there. You got to hang in there. It's like you're holding on to a strap on the underground, like you're in New York City on the metro. You're in New York City and you're a strap hanger and you're holding on and you're waiting for the train to come into your station. And then the doors open and you let go and you're in, boom, right? It's like the metro in Venezuela or the Transmilenio in Colombia. Although the former mayor of Bogota initiated a contract to build a metro in Bogota. I don't know how far along it is, but I know there's going to be a metro in Bogota. That's going to be interesting because Bogota gets lots of earthquakes. So I don't think I want to be underground on a metro in Bogota anytime. Because if they get a massive earthquake, you're going to be toast. It's better to be on a freaking bus above ground, right? Just my opinion. April Flower, hi Diego. It's been 2 weeks that we have our case on C-Access application received. Last status date changes, but the actual status itself is still says application received. You got to stay in touch with the embassy. Okay? You got to stay in touch with the embassy. Email them. Okay? And then print the emails to show you are staying in touch with them. 77 podcast. Hey Diego, is it mandatory to fill out the I-485 without the I-765? You got to fill out the I-485 to adjust status to green card. Okay? The I-765 is what is, come on guys, you know this. Let me make sure, I'm looking like the 485 is the adjustment of status, okay? The I-765 is the work permit. You don't need the work permit. Just apply for the green card. Is it mandatory to fill out the I-45 without the I-765? No, it's not mandatory. But it is mandatory that you fill out the work permit with the green card application. When you apply for the green card, if you want a work permit, you gotta include them together in the green card application. So when you file for a green card, you gotta also include the work permit. And don't forget, it's 260 something bucks. So just scrap the I-765, put it out of your head, and just apply for the green card. Okay? David B, thank you so much. I only saw the option for email. Okay. Dwayne Bickelman, my woman, your fiance, is the one doing the interview, and she said it's raining right now. Well, it's raining. I can understand that. 77 podcasts. I know the I-485 is $1,440, but no idea about the I-765 cost. Okay, look. Why are you, number one, why are you paying for an I-7? Why are you paying for a work permit? Why are you doing that? You apply for the green card. When you get the green card, you can go to work and travel and whatever and live permanently in the United States, right? Right? So why do you need the work permit? I'm just asking. It's a waste of money. But I'll tell you how much it is. Let me see here. It's $260. It's $260 for the work permit, okay? So you get the work permit. You get the work permit. And then a month later, you get the green card. So do you really want to spend $260 for a freaking work permit? $1,440 is for the green card and the biometrics. Don't forget, that price includes the biometrics. Harold A., thanks to you, Diego, my fiance will be coming in Thursday. Well, we give you a Mountain Dew salute, Harold, because we're helping everybody in Colombia. It seems like we've helped a lot of people in the Philippines, Colombia, England, India. Let me see, where else? I think those are the countries we help people the most. Mountain Dew salute to Harold A. Congratulations. Antonio, Diego, my wife's green card was produced today. Does she need to go to the Social Security office to get all that junk off her Social Security card? Yes. If she wants to get all that crap off of her Social Security card that says work authorized by Homeland Security only or whatever it says, you got to go back to the Social Security Administration with the green card and say, here's my green card. Don't forget her passport. Okay, and proof, so she can prove who she is, and say, here's my old Social Security number, here's my green card. Can you please send me a new Social Security number? The lady or the man will go in a computer, adjust your status to legal permanent resident, and then the Social Security Administration in Baltimore, Maryland, will mail you a new Social Security card. The number doesn't change. The Social Security number doesn't change. But you get a new card that doesn't have any crap written on it. You get a Social Security card like my Social Security card, an American Social Security card, not an immigrant or a temporary resident, whatever you want to call it, right? Karina did that. Now, guess what? Karina passed her Florida driver's test yesterday, okay? She passed her Florida driver's test, and she took her exam. She took her 50-question exam. Then she got in a car with the examiner. She's driving around just like she's going like she's normal, and she passed her driver's test. Then she got her driver's license. Look at that. There you go. I'm not going to give the other information, but she got her driver's license. So now Karina's dangerous. Boy, Peligra. I'm kidding. Howard A. Next, wait a second here. Antonio, my Diego, my wife got a green card. Go ahead. Once you get the green card in her hand, go and update her status with the Social Security Administration. Okay. And Howard A., thanks for everything. We're glad to help you, Howard A. And 77 podcasts. Thank you, Miguel, Antonio. Yes, sir. And congratulations. And let's see, Camille 1. Hi, Diego. Now, Camille 1? Didn't your fiance live in Cambodia? Camille 1. Hi, Diego and Karina from Boston. Boston. There you go. Very historical city in America. The Boston Tea Party was there. That's when we had that big old, the Americans decided they were sick and tired of paying taxes on stuff that they weren't really beneficial to them, and they had the Boston Tea Party. And that's when we started kicking the British out of here. I mean, in South America, Venezuela, Simon Bolivar, Karina's country, Venezuela, they kicked the Spanish out of South America, and we kicked the British out of the United States. And then we bought a bunch of land from France. That was a good deal right there. I wish I was the real estate agent on that deal. When we bought Louisiana, we bought Louisiana from the French. What a deal that was. Let's see. So Camille won in Boston. How are you doing? We're good. Being so long, I missed the class. Welcome back to class. Harold A. Antonio, Diego, you are absolutely right. My wife's green card was approved a month after her work permit. Money wasted. I try to tell you guys this. You gotta listen to Diego, guys. It's not my first rodeo. You gotta trust when I tell you stuff. Okay? I just don't make stuff up. I tell you the way it is. You know, I'm not an immigration attorney. I'm not giving you legal advice, but I'm saving you $4,000 or $5,000 by not going to an immigration attorney. Let me see. So 77 podcasts. Thank you, Diego. I'm about to this 3-form I-485, 864. You know, what's with the I-131 for the green card? What's with the I-131? Come on now. Guys, are you not paying attention to class? Look, hold on a second. I'm not ignoring you, all right? But I always clarify what I'm saying. Okay? I'm telling you, the travel document, what? You don't need an advance parole. When you come to America, you come in here to live. Mr. Beneficiary, Miss Beneficiary, when you get to the United States, you're coming here to get married and to live here. Why are you going to suddenly leave the United States with an advance parole document and go back home a few weeks after you get here? Why? What's the point of that? And it's going to cost $630 for the advance parole. So 77 podcasts. Don't waste your money on the advance parole. Just file for the green card and then do the biometrics. That's all you got to do. Why does your beneficiary need to go back with advance parole? Miguel, to 77 podcasts. Why are you going to do the I-131? It's advance parole, so you can travel without the freaking green card. But you can leave the United States with an advance parole document, and then let's suppose the Border Patrol officer's having a bad day, and you come back to the United States. The Border Patrol officer can say, well, the Customs and Border Protection, whatever you want to call them, they're going to say, no, we're not going to let you back in. Well, my cat was sick. I had to go back to see my cat and bury my cat. The Border Patrol is going to laugh at you. When you get to America, apply for your freaking green card and do your biometrics and stay here. And wait for your 10-year green card. Take a vacation when you get your 10-year green card or when you become a U.S. citizen. Why do people come here and then all of a sudden they got to leave and go back home? Well, grandma's sick. Well, I mean, I can understand if there's a medical emergency. I can understand. But don't you have Zoom on your freaking computer? If you miss your cat or your best buddy, do a Zoom call. It's just my opinion. Karina's staying here. She's in America. That's where she's going to be. This is her home. She's working on becoming a citizen. She got her Florida driver's license yesterday. Francois, congratulations, Karina. So happy and proud. Senora Francois, muy bien. I tell you, the Florida driver's license, there was a lady there who took her test and she failed it. Then she took the exam again because you can take it twice. I'm talking the written test on the computer. And she failed it again. And she's like, what the heck? And the lady said, well, you got to come back tomorrow and try again. And it's like $16, whatever it is per try. Karina jumped in the office. She went into the computer room. She sat down. Remember, Karina can't speak English. She sits at the computer. She takes her driver's license test and passes it first time. And then she goes, I don't know if I passed or not. I said, well, let me look at the computer. And on the computer, it's like approval. I said, it's approved, passed. Then she went and took her driver's test. She didn't make any mistakes. She took her 15-minute, 20-minute driver's test. She did this, here, this, there, up here, around here, did this, boom. And we're sitting there. Because I'm the translator, I'm sitting in the back of the car. I'm doing the lady gives directions to Karina. I translate it, and we sitting there, And the lady looked at Karina and put a big smile on her face. Said, "You passed your driving exam. Congratulations." A Florida driver's test is hard to pass. It's hard to get. And she got it first time. Most people get it on the second time. She did it first time. But then again, Karina's, super intelligent, very smart. So Miguel, congratulations. Look at you. Yeah, Amira Karina. Let's see here. Francois, Diego, review for me. Does Hamid take the sealed medical report in the sealed envelope for his interview? Yes. The embassy will not issue Hamid a K1 visa without the medical exam. And it's got to be in a sealed envelope. Let's see, 77 podcasts. Hey, Miguel, it's just in case she needs to travel. $630 for a just in case? It's cheaper to do a Zoom call. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your money on a freaking advanced parole. There's a good chance the Border Patrol, just because you have an advanced parole, doesn't mean you're going to be allowed back in the United States. The Border Patrol can deny you re-entry. They're going to say, why did you leave America? You just got here. You just got married. What are you doing? Well, I had to go take care of something. I had to travel. And the Border Patrol's going to say, well, you have no loyalty to the United States. You just got here. Now you're leaving already. I'm sorry, but I'm going to block you entry into the United States. And guess what? Your green card's going to get freaking denied. Don't do it. Listen to me, guys. Khmer, yeah, my wife is from Cambodia. Yeah, I want to go. I want to take Karina to Cambodia because there's a lot of historical ruins there, like temples and pyramids and stuff. 77 podcasts. So if you didn't change your fiancé last name on the marriage certificate, can you do it when you apply for the adjustment of status? 77 podcasts. The marriage certificate is not going to change your wife's last name. When you fill out the marriage certificate, okay, I'm looking for the paperwork here so I can show you. When you fill out the marriage certificate, or the pastor does, or your imam, or the synagogue, whoever does it, the synagogue, wherever you get married, it's going to have your wife's maiden name always on the marriage certificate. The way you change her last name to your last name is on page 1, right there. That's where you change it. Page 1 of Form I-485. It says, what is your current legal name? Miss Beneficiary. What is your wife's current legal name? Well, Karina put in here Ross for family name, Karina for given name, and her middle name. Karina Ross. So it went Karina Ross right here, and her middle name. And then it says, what other names have you used? What other names have you used, Karina, in the past? Well, in the past, she was Karina with her maiden name and her middle name. And that went here. Karina, maiden name, middle name. Karina Ross, middle name. So right here is where she changed her name to Ross on page 1 of USCIS Form I-485. That's where you do it. You submit the green card with that information, the way I explained it. Then the green card comes to you in the mail, and it's going to say Karina Ross. That's how it works. And then you go to the Social Security Administration and change your status from whatever it is, from Homeland Security work permit or whatever you did to legal permanent residence. And then the Social Security office will mail you a new Social Security card, and it takes all that Homeland Security garbage off of the card. So 77 podcasts. Did you learn something today? Did you learn something? Number 1, your wife doesn't change her last name on the marriage certificate. It's going to be in her maiden name. Number 2, you change her last name on page 1 of Form I-485. You got it? Okay, so to apply the green card, you don't need to do the affidavit of support too. Yes, you do. I'm going to write right here the mandatory forms you got to put in your green card application, right? This is right here. I'm going to type them right here. I'm going to type them so you don't mess this up. When you file for your green card, you're going to file Form I-485. That's the adjustment of status. You're going to file Form 864. That's the affidavit of support. You're going to include Form 693. That's the medical exam and the vaccinations. You're going to include Form I-94. That's the Border Patrol, to show you did a face-to-face with the Border Patrol. You're going to include the K-1 visa copy. In color, you're going to include both passports, right? In color, biographic page, right? Both passports in color, biographic page, a copy of it, blown up nice and big. Okay? You're going to include the marriage certificate. Okay? You're going to include photos of the wedding. You can't get better training than this. And it's costing you nothing. Photos of the wedding, not photos, at least 20 to 30 pictures. Okay? What are you going to put on the pictures? The name of the people in the photograph, the date the picture was taken, where the picture was taken. Okay? What else are you going to include in your green card application? What else? Proof of your relationship. You got to keep on going with the proof of relationship. How do you do that? Take a vacation together. Go a weekend somewhere. Take a weekend somewhere. Get pictures. Karina and I, when Karina went for her biometrics in New Orleans, we made a vacation out of it. So we took pictures in New Orleans, and we included that in the green card application. In her 10-year green card application, because we've already started her 10-year green card application. We've already started building a file. When you get your 2-year green card, right? When you get your 2-year green card, start a file for the 10-year green card. I'm writing all this stuff down, guys, so you understand. When you get the 2-year green card, start a file. I put file folder, a file folder for your 10-year green card. This immigration stuff doesn't end when you get your green card. If you're getting a 2-year green card, 3 months before your 2-year green card expires, you got to lift the conditions off of it and apply for the 10-year green card. Once you've been in the United States for 3 years continually without leaving, you are a continual resident of the United States for the next 3 years. You apply for U.S. citizenship. When you apply for U.S. citizenship, you got to be able to read and write English. You got to be able to take a test on U.S. history, on the government and the history of our country. 100-question exam. I made a video on possibly the 100 questions that they were going to ask you. Okay. This immigration doesn't end until you become a citizen. Let me see. Joel Adams, should you apply for the Social Security number before the marriage? Depends on what state you live in. There are 12 states in the United States where you got to have a Social Security number before you can get married. There's 12 states. I'll show you right here. If I can find the list. I got lots of good questions today. I don't know. I got all this paperwork. I'm trying to find it. But these states right here, they require a Social Security number to get married. In West Virginia, you got to get your parents' names included. Connecticut, Kansas, Kentucky, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, New Jersey, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Utah, West Virginia. You got to have a Social Security number to get married first. So you get your Social Security number, and then you apply for your marriage certificate, your marriage license. You got it? Miguel, okay, did Karina have her driver's permit before going in for the driver's license? No. She didn't have a driver's permit. She went in and took the test for the real thing. She went in and took the test and the driver's exam for the license, not the permit. Now she got her license. Here it is. She good to go. Francois, I thought no one is to open the sealed envelope till he arrives in the United States. Francois, listen to me, Francois. You've been an A+ student forever on this channel. Listen to me. When Hamid goes to his visa interview at the embassy in United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi, there's a good possibility that the immigration officer is going to take his medical exam and is not going to return it to him. So he doesn't have a medical exam anymore, but he has a K1 visa. When he arrives in the United States of America, his K1 visa goes away and he gets an I-94, which gives him 90 days to get married to you. He doesn't have his medical exam. Where is it? It's in the embassy in United Arab Emirates. Are you going to hope and pray the United Arab Emirates mails his medical exam to immigration when you file his green card application? Don't bank on it. So what do? You repeat the medical exam. You repeat the medical exam in upstate New York for a green card application. You pay the doctor, the civil surgeon, and say, look, I need a medical exam for my husband for his green card application. You go to a civil surgeon approved by the State Department. He will conduct, or she will conduct, the medical exam on Hamid, sign the 693 and sign up on the vaccinations, and put it in a sealed envelope and give it to you, which you include then in your green card application. Come on, Francois. Blessings, Emma and Yonu. Hello, Diego. How does the wife change her last name if she is the petitioner? Just curious. Yeah, that's a good question. Well, what I would do is, if you're the petitioner and so you got the wife is the petitioner, I would go down to the driver's license place and change my name at the driver's license office with the marriage certificate, because the marriage certificate is going to have your husband's name on it, and then you use the marriage certificate with your husband's name on it to change your last name. You can go and do it at the DMV. That's the first document you get. The first government document that you get is your driver's license, right? That's what I would do. Take your marriage certificate to the DMV and say, I just got married. I want to change my name to my husband's last name. Boom, there you go. Easy, right? Joe Adams, Washington. Carlos, I finally found availability appointment at the U.S. Embassy in Bogota. I said you would, but when I was in the process of paying the fee, the appointment disappeared. I've been checking for a month and no available appointment. You can't. So you got to be quick, Carlos. I'll give you a Mountain Dew salute for your effort, but you got to be quick, man. Get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Mountain Dew salute. Get up at 5 in the morning, or 2 o'clock in the morning, and look again. And when you see an open slot, you freaking take it. Okay? If you see an open slot, you jump on it. Do it at 5 in the morning, or 2 in the morning, or 11 o'clock at night when everybody's in bed watching videos. That's when you do it. Miguel, is it a requirement to live in the United States continuously for 3 years once you have the 10-year green card in order to apply for citizenship? No, you can go on vacation, but you can take a 2-week vacation and fly back to wherever. But here's what I recommend. When you go to the interview for U.S. citizenship, right? When Karina goes to her interview, I fill out the form N-400, pay the visa fee, whatever. She goes to her American citizenship interview. They're going to ask her, have you left the United States of America? She's going to say, no, I've been a continuous resident since I got here on my K1 visa. Very good. You don't want to tell the immigration officer, no, I went back home and I spent 3 months at home because I missed grandma. And then I came back to the United States on my green card. Then I went back home again because my cat was sick. And then I went back again because Uncle Louie had a bad spell, and I needed to go spend time with Uncle Louie. when you get to America, if you want to become a U.S. citizen without any freaking major irritations from immigration, don't leave America. Come to America on your 2-year green card, get your 2-year green card, get your 10-year green card, become a citizen. And then when you become an American citizen, get your freaking passport, U.S. passport, and then you can travel wherever the heck you want for as long as you want without getting harassed or harangued by immigration. But when you go for your citizenship interview, the first question they ask you is, have you lived continuously in the United States of America since you were issued your visa or green card? And Karina's going to say, yes, I have never left the United States. I got my Venezuelan hat on. Do you like my Venezuelan hat? You got it? But it's not mandatory. You can travel on your 2-year green card. You can travel on your 10-year green card. But when you go to your citizenship interview and they ask you, have you been a continuous resident of the United States? You're going to say, no, I went on vacation here. I went to visit grandma for 3 months. I went to see Uncle Tio. I went here. And immigration's going to like, why the heck did you come to America? Do you see what I'm saying? Blessings, Emaru. Do you understand how you can change your last name as the petitioner? And Carlos, keep looking for an Bogota appointment. You're going to get one. Miguel, it's not mandatory to live in the United States continuously for 3 years, but I recommend it. It makes it easier for the immigration processing for your citizenship paperwork. 77 podcast. Okay, Diego, is the I-693 the same with the DS-3025? Yes. The civil surgeon in the United States will do the medical exam, repeat the medical exam, okay, repeat it, re-sign the vaccination documents, the doctor will put it, or his administrative assistant will put it in an envelope, seal it, everything's good. Got it? You put that in the green card application. Francois Livingston. So the immigration officer at JFK isn't going to ask for the report. My mind is like a Ferris wheel at the moment. Sorry to have failed today's surprise quiz. No, you didn't fail, Francois. You didn't fail the class today. You just had to be reminded of stuff. When Hamid arrives in the United States at John F. Kennedy International Airport in Queens, right? It's in Queens, New York. The Border Patrol officer is going to take everything that's all sealed and taped up. And you're never going to see it again. And there's a good chance the medical exam is going to disappear too. Into the big old, I don't know where it went. It's kind of like going into Area 51 in Nevada, right? You go into Area 51 in Nevada and nobody sees you again. Where did he go? No one sees Billy Boy because he went into freaking Area 51. No one saw him ever again. The same is true with the K-1 visa app package that the Border Patrol is going to take, the Customs and Border Patrol. They're going to take it from Hamid and it's going to disappear and you're never going to see it again. You repeat the medical exam and you start the process all over again for the green card application. Okay? Francois, tell me you understand. Get off this Ferris wheel. Carlos, I will set my alarm for 3 a.m. and I will have my credit card ready for the next time. Carlos, there you go. That's what I did. I got up at like 4:30 in the morning. And there was a spot for Karina in November of 2023. I'm like, great, there's a spot. There's one left in November. Guess who got it? We did. Then I paid the dang thing. Miguel, nice hat. Yeah, Diego, thanks. This is from Venezuela. This is in Caracas. This came from Caracas. Karina got me this from Caracas, Venezuela. And I'm wearing it in support of our family and friends and the good people of Venezuela. We love you guys. To the citizens of Venezuela who are yearning to be free, you're going to be free one day. Very soon. Very soon you're going to be free. Trust me, okay? Francois, look at that super chat. Francois, woohoo! Congratulations, Karina, on your driver's license. Yeah. She got it. First time. Mountain Dew salute, Francois. We appreciate you, Francois. You're keeping the channel in Mountain Dews. So is Larry Piercy. So blessings. Thank you. I'll do the same for my social security card. Miguel, nice hat. Blessings. Yes, I do that. Thanks a lot. Sorcha Anderson. Hi, Diego. Sorcha. What's going on? Hi, Karina. Sorcha. Hello, Karina. Francois Livingston. Thank you. No, thank you for the super chat, Francois. Another. Francois, look at you. Thank you. You get September off to a good start. Mountain Dew salute number 2. Thank you, Diego and Karina. Francois, you're at the finish line. When Hamid gets to America and you're in upstate New York, take him on a vacation to New York City. Go eat at Patty's Italian restaurant, or Patsy's. I think it's called Patsy's Italian restaurant. Very famous. Go to the Statue of Liberty. Go on a river. Go down around the Hudson River. Go for a walkabout. Get pictures with your friends and family. Okay? And include that in the green card application. You got it? Francois, when you submit the green card application, you got to get lots of pictures with your friends and family with Hamid. Okay? Invite your friends from work over to your house and say, hey, I want group pictures with all my friends for my green card. Okay? Francois, thank you. You're welcome. 77 podcast. Thank you so much, Diego. 2 thumbs up. There you go. 77 podcast. Don't apply for the freaking work permit. Don't waste your money on advance parole. How much is that? What is that combination? Do you know what is it? I'll add it up for you. Okay, so the advance parole is $630, and a work permit is $260. That's $890. For what? What can you do with $890 with your green card in your hand? You can travel with your green card in your hand. If you got to go back and visit grandma that badly, wait till you get your freaking green card and save that $890. That $890 is a plane ticket, right? Let me see. Miguel, did you hear about Maduro claiming October 1st is Christmas? Look, Miguel, we heard about that. Nicolas Maduro, okay, is a communist dictator that has got his boot on the necks of the citizens of Venezuela. And I know the Venezuelans real well. I know my wife is from Venezuela, Karina's from Venezuela. I know Venezuelans real well. They ain't going to put up with his crap for much longer. Okay? There's a $15 million bounty on on Maduro's head. There's $15 million on his head. Okay? It just takes somebody from Venezuela with a few gonads to go in there and arrest that son of a gun and turn him over to the U.S. authorities. Okay? It's not hard to do. You go capture Maduro, you put him on a bus, you tussle him up and put him under a bus, you drive him from Caracas to Cucuta to Bogota, and then you call the U.S. embassy up in Bogota and say, hey, I got Maduro. And then the U.S. Embassy will verify it and write you a check for $15 million freaking dollars. Why can't we do this? Seriously, that's a lot of money, guys. That's a lot of cash. And it's not hard to do. Maduro's easy to find. He's not hard to spot. Yeah, Miguel, we heard about Maduro claiming October 1st is Christmas. Maduro, he doesn't even celebrate Christmas. He's a freaking communist. They don't believe in God. They're atheists. Sorcha Anderson, I-485 approved. Diego. Well, Sorcha, you've been keeping that under your hat. Congratulations. And Maduro, if you're watching this channel, I know people in Venezuela watch this channel. There is no reason why I just can't hop on a plane to Bogota and make myself a little vacation into Caracas, Venezuela. It's not hard to cross the border. I could use that $15 million myself. I'd give it to Karina's family. That's what I would do. If I was to get the $15 million on Maduro's head, okay, I would give it to the people of Venezuela, including my wife's family in Venezuela. That's what I do with the money. Francois, thank you for clarifying the medical report. You're welcome, Francois. Got it. I want to take him to the Adirondacks The Adirondacks. It is so beautiful in the fall. That I can't pronounce that word, but that's a great, I've heard of it. That's a great idea, Francois. And get lots of pictures with people in the Adirondacks. Okay? And put it in your green card application. Rooster, checking in from a wet and soggy Mississippi Gulf Coast. Yeah, it was raining. It's going to be raining here all week, here in Florida. We're close to Mississippi. Karina's been to Mississippi 4 times. Once to go there and back 4 times. Apostle, hey, how are you, Diego? I'm going to pre-screen, God willing, tomorrow in Accra, Ghana. That's going to require pixie dust. This is the pixie dust for Apostle for tomorrow in Accra, Ghana. You're good. I put pixie dust all over your case. So now you're good to go. K Messenger, hola Karina y Diego. Felicidades. De la licencia, de la flor. Gracias. Karina passed first time. Look, Karina spent 6-7 months learning how to drive and studying and studying and studying. She's not lazy. No flaw. So Karina's not lazy. She put a lot of sweat equity into this. That's why she passed her Florida driver's test first time. A lot of people don't take it seriously. They go, well, I can't be that bad. I know these freaking road signs are easy. They only ask 3 questions on the road signs. Right? 3 preguntas, and calle. They only ask 3 questions about road signs. That's why people fail it so much. They go, dang, where's the road sign questions? You got to know the freaking roads. You got to know the process of driving on these roads. Okay? How many seconds do you have? How many seconds do you have to keep in maintaining distance from the car in front of you? That's a lot. It's not easy questions. Karina, she nailed it. Let me see. Camille 1, my wife arrived at JFK Airport back in December in New York City. Okay. They're not issuing the I-94 card right away. You have to get it from the CBP website. That's right. I've made video about that. Listen, Camille 1, go into the channel and type in I-94. And I put this channel together for you guys. I didn't do it for me. I did it for you. I already know how to do this. Go into the channel, type I-94, and it will bring up a couple of videos. One video, somebody watched it, 3,000 times. Another person watched the other video about 200 times. I don't know. But if you watch it, it explains to you how to get the I-94, unless you already know. Then don't waste your time watching the video. Mona Bless, good night, Diego and Karina. What's the poverty line for 6 people at 125%? That's going to be $52,540. That's the cutoff. That's the minimum. All right, $52,450. I'll write it down right here. Now, what? It's not working. Okay, I got to put it in there. Okay, 52,000. Right, $450. That's the minimum for a family of 6. But if you only make $52,450, even though it's qualifying for the family of 6, immigration is going to ask you for a joint sponsor. So what you really need to make for a family of 6 to avoid getting an RFE is right here. You got to make at least $60,000 a year. Okay, thank you, Diego. I make $73,000. Well, then I will do this for you. I don't even know how to do it. I don't know how to use this thing, but I will do this and say, how does this work, Karina? I don't know how this works. I will do this for you. Let me see here. Boom. I'll give you 100. Test of 100. You passed. You're good. Okay, let's see here. Blessings, Mr. Diego. Please, could you indicate once more the most important forms to send when filing for the adjustment of status? Yeah, that's why I'm here, right? So you got to fill out. You got to send in the I-485, right? The 864. You gotta have this form right here. Right here. You gotta have the you gotta have this one. This is the medical exam. Okay? You gotta have this one. That's the Border Patrol form. You gotta have those at a minimum. Okay? If you don't include any of those, you're not gonna get the green card. But you gotta include a whole bunch of other stuff too. Let me see. Sorcha, do you know how long after I-485 approved you get the green card? It's 4 to 6 months, depending on how you got an approval. It's about 4 to 6 months. Carlos, can you take the Florida driver's test in Spanish? Yes, you can. For the driving test. For the driving test, no. You got to have a translator. Is there a person that speaks Spanish? I speak Spanish. Yo hablo español. I was the translator. Okay? So if you can take the exam in Spanish if you want to. The questions, it's 50 questions. You got to get 40 right to pass. 50 but the driver's test is in English. If you don't speak if you don't speak English, you got to get a translator. You got to find a translator. I was the translator. I had to sign a form that said I'm the translator. I promised I wouldn't help Karina in her driving skills test while she's driving. I wouldn't coach her or tell her anything in Spanish other than what the words were coming out of her examiner's mouth. So when her examiner said, take a left turn, I would tell Karina in Spanish, izquierda por favor. I couldn't say take a left turn and don't forget to use your turn signal. When she came up to a stop sign, the examiner would say, okay, stop here. I would say, mi amor, okay, pare aquí. I couldn't say stop here and not roll over the freaking white line and just, I couldn't coach her. I had to exactly repeat what the examiner said in Spanish. Okay? You got it? So, Carlos, you can take the questions and answers, the computer test in Spanish, but the driver's test, you're going to have to get a translator to sit in the back seat if your wife doesn't speak English. That way, she'll understand the questions. And let me get rid of this. Mi amor, how do I get rid of that? Karina controls this. I don't. She knows how to do this. She's the computer wizard. She's going to do something here. I don't know what she's doing. But anyway, let's see. Carlos, I answered your question. Mona Bless, thank you, Diego. I make $73,000. Very good. You make that kind of money, then you are good to go for a family of 6. No problem. K Messenger, we still continue to commingle our funds on one bank, Navy Federal Credit Union. NFCU is good. Navy Federal Credit Union requested my wife's green card, which that's normal, which we still are pending. Have you heard of this before? Yeah, they want to see our green card. Sure. Karina, she had her green card, her social security number, everything. We even took the marriage certificate so they can see we got married. It's normal, but I'll give you a Mountain Dew salute, K Messenger, because that's a good question. I like those kind of questions. And also a Mountain Dew salute to Carlos, because that's a good question too on the driver's test. Maybe I should make a video on how to take a Florida driver's test on a green card. Now remember, when you go into the driver's license office as an immigrant as a legal permanent resident with a green card, you got to bring your green card, your social security number, get all that Homeland Security crap off of there. Green card, social security number, and another form of ID, the passport perhaps. And what the lady will do, once you pass the sit-down exam in the computer, the lady's going to then prepare you for the driver's test. But before she does that, she's going to take your green card, and she's going to look at the alien number, and she's going to punch it into the computer, which is connected to Tallahassee, the capital of Florida. In Tallahassee, there's going to be a record of you being a legal permanent resident. Okay? The alien number is going to pop up as legal permanent resident. If it pops up, the process continues and you take the driver's test. But if it doesn't pop up, if the driver's license office, let's say in Palm Beach, Florida, cannot pull up your green card alien number, then the lady's going to have to call Tallahassee and say, hey, I got a person here with a green card trying to take a driver's test, but the alien number is not showing up in my computer. So then the lady will then over the phone give the alien number, the alien registration number, to the person in Tallahassee, who will then punch the number into the Homeland Security database, who will then verify legal permanent residency, and then they will then lift the block from the computer and allow you to take the driver's test. Florida's strict. Florida doesn't put up with all these illegal immigrants coming in here. If you are an illegal immigrant in Florida, you ain't going to get a freaking driver's license. You're not going to get one. Don't waste your time. Don't do it. It's strict. K Messenger, hang in there, K Messenger. Vimy Lawia. Hello, Vimy. How are you? How is your family, Vimy? K Messenger, did Karina have experience driving prior to arriving in Florida? No. Nada. But she did. I taught her how to drive. Right? I was Karina's driving instructor. And she's lucky I speak Spanish. Because if I couldn't speak Spanish, I wouldn't have a clue how to teach her how to drive. Right? If I didn't know Spanish, I couldn't have helped her. But because I speak Spanish, and understand Spanish, I could explain to her everything in Spanish. And she took it. I said, you got to have a minimum of 6 months of practicing in parking lots and driving on private land. We didn't go on the highways. We were in parking lots on private property for 6 months. And when Karina, after 6 months, could jump in that car and change the radio station without looking at the radio, she knew how to change the mirrors. She could change the AC from this cool to this cool. She understood that entire process of driving a car without even looking. She's driving down the road. She can change the radio station without looking at the radio. After 6 months of practice, she was ready. And she studied for 3 months on the test, on the computer test. If you do that, you pass it first time. But if you don't take the test seriously, if you don't take the driver's test seriously and learn the rules of what you got to do, you're not going to pass it the first time. And you're going to be in for a big surprise. I'm sorry, you failed. Karina didn't get that result. She passed first time. I'm not taking the credit for it because Karina did all the work. Karina did all the work. But she listened to me. Okay? Let's see here. Let's see what questions we got. Vimy, do I need a marriage license in New York State? I think every state in the United States requires a marriage license first before you can get married, and then you get the marriage certificate. Okay? Every state, there's 50 states in America, right? Hawaii was the 50th state. Alaska was the 49th state. Delaware was the first state, right? The first state in the Union was Delaware, and the last state was Hawaii. Every state in America requires a license to get married, and you pay for the license. And once you get married, then you get the certificate. You include the marriage certificate in the green card application. Okay? The marriage certificate is going to show the maiden name of your female beneficiary. It's not going to show the married name. If you look at Karina's marriage certificate, it says Karina and her maiden name. Doesn't say Karina Ross, but her green card says Karina Gross. Her Florida driver's license says Karina Ross. Why? Because when we applied for her green card on page 1 of Form 485, that's where we changed her name. Miguel, how did she drive for 6 months without a driver's permit? I just explained it. On private property. Okay, my friends own a lot of land, guys. Private land, private property. Parking lots is private property. Okay, church parking lots is private property. She didn't go on the highways. She did. You are not allowed to drive on the streets in Florida without a permit if you are just learning to drive. But Karina bypassed the permit and went straight to the license. And I taught her how to drive in farmers' fields, okay, on dirt roads on private land. That's how she learned. 3 minutes of soccer. Hello, Diego. Hello, 3 minutes of soccer. How is you and your family? Francois Livingston. Yes, you do need to get a marriage license in New York State. Already looked into it. Francois, you're on top of the class. You redeemed yourself. You're back to the top of the class, Francois. Vimy Lola. Thank you, Diego and Francois. 3 minutes of soccer. Does her full name include her maiden name? No. When you get married, Karina's full name does not include her maiden name. Karina is Karina, middle name Ross. That's her full name. Her driver's license says Karina, middle name Ross. Her maiden name is back in the history books with Mama in Venezuela. Mama in Venezuela is going to keep her maiden name secure and safe, but Karina is Karina Ross. So, no, her maiden name is not included in her full name. Well, how did we create Karina's full name? On page 1 of Form 485. Karina, middle name Ross. Rooster, we are finishing up the property transfer prior to coming to the USA. Okay, she'll start looking for embassy interviews soon, but I want to give you a Mountain Dew salute. I think that's what it says. Well, we appreciate Mountain Dew salutes, and we'll give you a Mountain Dew salute for getting this far, Rooster. This is for you. Rooster, look, you didn't have to do that, Rooster, but we love the super chats. Thank you, Rooster. Another salute to Rooster, Mountain Dew salute. Now, Mountain Dew doesn't pay me to do this, to advertise Mountain Dew for free. I got just so enamored with Mountain Dew when I was in the United States Navy, when I was on my first ship deployed, and we were out in the North Atlantic. Mountain Dew kept me awake when I'd been up for 3 or 4 days or 5 days without sleep. I'd go to the machine, I'd put my 25 cents in, and I'd get a Mountain Dew. And that Mountain Dew would keep me awake for another 6-8 hours. It was only 25 cents for a freaking soda back then. Now it's like $2 for a Mountain Dew. It's insane. But thank you for that Mountain Dew salute, Rooster, and also Francois. Thank you, guys. 3 minutes. I'm doing good Diego interview for my prometida in December in Paris. December 4th in Bonjour, Paris. That's not long. 3 months is going to go by quick. Good job for 3 minutes of soccer. That's excellent news. And Francois, his appointment, K1 visa interview, the scary visa interview is September 18th. 3 minutes of soccer, scary visa interview for his prometida is December 4th of 2024. Just before Christmas. Get here before Christmas. Rooster, when I was in the Navy, it was coffee. Yeah, but coffee was hot. And you get it in a cup, right? And you're walking around the ship with a coffee cup, and the ship's moving like this because you're at sea. You hit big waves. If I had a coffee cup in my hand, and then coffee would fly everywhere. So I had Mountain Dew, but it was in a can. So I was up, like, there's my Mountain Dew, and I'm walking around. If I'm getting hit with some heavy weather, the seas are rough, the Mountain Dew stays in the can. Francois, you're welcome. Vimy, Lola, I live in New York State, and I was told by the wedding officiant who's going to perform a wedding ceremony that, yes, my fiance and I need a marriage license in order to get married. Francois, you know what's going on. You've got this, guys. Now, today is what, Wednesday? Today's Mercoles, right? Hoy is Mercoles. We'll be back on Saturday, which is Sábado in Spanish. I'll make a video on how to do a driver's test in Florida if you want for a permanent resident. It's up to you. I don't know if there's a lot of people from Florida watching the channel. Maybe, maybe not. But, I can make the video if you think it's your channel. If you think it's worth doing it, I'll do it. I want to put lots of pixie dust on everybody. That light is pretty bright. Look at that. There's the pixie dust. And we'll see you guys. Francois gets the last word. Thanks for the super chats. And we'll see you guys on Saturday. Unless I do a surprise live stream between now and Saturday, I might do that. Karina's working. If I get bored, I'll maybe jump on here and do a live stream and answer questions for you guys again. And we'll see you. If not, we'll be together Saturday. You'll see Karina Saturday, but you might see me anytime between now and Saturday. So good news.